Road.fm. Gear up. What's up, Nomads? Today we have a special guest. It's Ryan from Elite Enslave Us on Facebook, a page with over 200,000 followers. Now, I've known Ryan for about 2 years. He's probably Facebook's most banned person. Out of 365 days last year, he was suspended for 305 of them. Why does Facebook suspend him? Because he speaks the truth and he won't quit. That reminds me of Galatians chapter 4, verse 16, and that reads, "Have I now become your enemy because I'm telling you the truth?" You know, the enemy hates when you speak the truth. And with so many people let down and starving for answers, social media is silencing truthcasts. Why? Because they want you programmed with whatever narrative or agenda they peddle. You understand? The mainstream media news is nothing but a marketing tool for the elite. Ask yourself this. What's a boat anchor for? It's to hold you down or restrain you, restrict your free movement so you don't go drifting away. So why do they call people that feed you news anchors? Because they want you restricted. They want your full attention and they don't want you going anywhere else. You got it? Folks, you're going to hear from Ryan in a minute. You're going to hear how passionate he is and the reason why he's so passionate. Yes, he wants the country to make it, but he's also outlining and putting things right on Front Street of why it's failing. And it's because the people will not unify. Facebook is trying to silence Ryan's voice for speaking up for those that won't, right? That's in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 8, and that reads, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, and share justice for those being crushed." Ryan is very outspoken, but he's doing it for good reason. Heck, I simply posted a screenshot of a Bible scripture and Facebook overlords removed it, and they sent me a message saying it goes against their community standards. If God's not welcome on Facebook, then what the heck do I want to be there for? And today people are programmed to label anything that goes against the mainstream news as conspiracies, right? The Bible warns us about that. In Psalm chapter 31, verse 20, it reads, "You hide them in the secret place of your presence from the conspiracies of mankind. You keep them secretly in a shelter from the strife of tongues." In other words, God knows what these conspiracy things are. Where do you think the elite got that word conspiracy theory from? Right out the Bible. And why do they use it? Go ahead and go against mainstream media and watch how quickly you're labeled and shut down. The cancel culture will be all over you. Happened in my business, but we survived by the grace of God. Back in the summer of 2018, Ryan and I had a conversation. He said something. He said, "Something is coming that's going to shut the world down and change the course of history." How did he know that? But before we introduce Ryan, let's take a quick break. Folks, I just want to introduce Ryan. He's on with us. He's a custom bike builder. He's a dog breeder. He's got a street glide. He's just waiting for it to get warm to hit the road. So Ryan, long overdue, man. I've been trying to get you on this podcast for months now. And just want to welcome you to Road.fm podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Let's get right into it. Tell me your thoughts about the government in this sham of an election, right? The government let a bunch of volunteers protect the dignity of the vote to determine the presidency. Does that even sound logical to you?
When you look at it and you look at the game they've been playing for years, to me, it's all coordinated out. It's all put into play. They know who the next three presidents are going to be. It's
Wow.
like it's like George Carlin said. It's an illusion. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Mm.
And this, and I hate to switch subject. This is what happened yesterday with the stock market, right? We all seen the election fraud and everything that happened. Their little game they played, and then they got rid of Parler, and they got rid of, they're getting rid of Telegram, and they're silencing people. And so yesterday they had a bunch of Reddit users that are in a trading group, and now they have Robinhood and all these other things where years ago you'd have to get a broker to do your trading. Well, now they give it to the hands of the people to do their own trading.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up with Robinhood, Webull, Ameritrade, and all these other places you can do your, I'm going to say gambling. You're gambling on companies.
It is. That's
So,
exactly what it is.
so we all know that hedge funds and Wall Street's been robbing Americans for years. This is what they do. And, the Wolf of Wall Street was proof of it. What they do is they take your stocks and they build them up. And instead of giving you your profit, they say, hey, we're going to move you over here and do this. And they take their cuts, but you get your little percentage. I mean, it's just like a crowd. It's going to be a long conversation, Tim. It's just like cryptocurrency, right?
Right.
I used to manage a page and I used to do investing for people,
Okay.
right? And I would make them money. And this is why you don't need a broker, because you can do this yourself. So they went on Reddit. They formed this big group. They're called pump and dump groups. They've been doing it for years. And they went into GameStop, AMC, and Nokia, and they took all their other money and if you notice, the stock market's been crashing for the past 4 days. They took all their money out of the S&P and everything else, and they dumped it into one stock, and they pumped it the hell up.
Wow.
Well, this is the good part. The game is rigged. What they do is you gamble against the market, these hedge funds. They say, okay, GameStop, we're going to put $5 billion on it, and we're going to say we're not going to let it get above $13 a share. It's suppressing the market. So what this group went in, right? So just say Merlin. Merlin was the one that had, hold on, I want to be 100%. So Melvin Capital is a hedge fund. They had $5 billion in the market. So what these Reddit traders did is they pumped up GameStop, and Melvin Capital had suppressed it, and they said it's not going to go above this price. Well, it got stomped out, and Melvin Capital lost $5 billion of their investors' money.
And how long?
Because these bandit traders, one day.
Wait, did you say 5 billion with a B in one day?
One day.
That's how much power the people have and don't even realize it.
And I'm going to get into that too.
That's right.
What they did was the next day, Citadel is partners with Robinhood. They're another hedge fund. And Citadel's partner with Melvin. So on Robinhood today, they stripped AMC, they stripped GameStop, they stripped Nokia right off their trading platforms. So everyone that was invested, they couldn't sell because it was shut off, and they lost all that money.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait, let me get this straight. So if I had Robinhood and I had 10 shares of GameStop at 300 a share, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm sitting on $3,000, and they just decided to hit the button. Now I'm watching GameStop go down, down, down. I'm losing money, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh yeah. The same thing happened with Coinbase 3 years ago with Bitcoin Cash. People were buying in at 2,000, and it was going and going and going. They locked out the trading, and then it tanked all the way down to 500, and all these people were stuck there trying to sell, and they couldn't sell.
So you could have potentially been sitting on $1 million, and they just restricted your ability to get rid of it.
All because Citadel Capital called them and said, listen, this ain't going to happen. And they yanked it off their platforms. Now talk about a Wall Street mafia, right?
Heck yeah.
So you're telling me if I got money in the stock market and I say, you know what? I don't want to invest in S&P anymore, the NASDAQ. I want to go into GameStop. The government could come in, and Wall Street can come in and say no, because we have our money in there, and if you stomp out our shorts, we'll lose our money. So it's okay for the big guys to get money to suit, but not the little guy.
That is bananas, bro. That's bananas.
It's beyond bananas. It's beyond bananas. It's just like the election. Everything is controlled. And I just want to say to the listeners, if you're into cryptocurrency, don't think it's not going to happen to crypto because we got JP Morgan and all these hedge funds now in crypto. So
Right.
they're holding millions of dollars of Bitcoin for their customers, and they're going to hedge that against Bitcoin as well, just like they do the stock market. So don't think they can't do it to crypto either, because all they're going to do is call it Coinbase. They shut it off.
It's that easy, so the people Bitcoin, right? For the anonymity of it and the ease of it, and they say, hey, it can't be tracked, it can't be controlled. So what you're saying is they found a way to control it.
What do you mean find a way to control it? They're the ones that started crypto. They're the ones that started the blockchain. That's the thing. They put out this big mystery. This mystery guy started Bitcoin. No, the government started. They've been putting this plan years to go towards the digital currency. It's the pirates and the bandits that think, oh, it's exclusive. The government can't touch this. They already did. In some states, you can't even buy crypto. In some states, you
Wow.
can only buy. In some states, you can only buy certain cryptos. Like I know in New York, you can't buy XRP. There's no freedom anymore. We're definitely heading right towards communism.
Heading to
It's
it.
100%.
I think we're already here, to be honest with you. And,
We're here, but we're not fully there yet.
okay, we're going to talk about another topic real quick. I had a whole list of questions that just went out the window because when you and I start talking, it just flows. So them questions are done. But talk about the Second Amendment real quick. Do you believe they may pull the Second Amendment under martial law? I still think that's in play because if you look at the ads in the newspapers and Craigslist, they're hiring crisis actors still. What the heck do you need crisis actors for?
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Where in the Second Amendment does it say I need a permit to carry a gun?
You don't need a permit according to the Second Amendment.
What I don't get is every time they bring up the Second Amendment, they bring up hunting and fishing. That's not what the Second Amendment's for. It's to go up against a tyrannical government.
Period. Yep.
Point blank, period.
But if they know the tyrannical government's in control, they have to cushion themselves, right? They got to create a barrier. So here's my question. I know I'm going on a rant and I'm sorry. If the Second Amendment was gone yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And they confiscated, because they have the ability to scan and see where the weapons are, right? So let's say that already happened. People gave up. There was no boogaloo, no civil war. People just willingly handed over their weapons. So the United States would be a weaponless nation. What do you think they would do next?
Well, we saw what happened in Germany, didn't we? We saw what happened in Australia. We saw what happened in a lot of these countries, Venezuela. What happened when they took their guns away? But you know what? That's a big myth. I don't think that's ever going to happen in the United States. It's just, well, I can say that because I think that.
Here's the question that for you, for what you just said. How many rounds can you carry in a weapon up there?
Exactly. That's why I look at my cousin and people like this. They got thousands of rounds of ammunition. That ain't gonna do you no good when you got to go on the run. You may be good. You may be good at holding maybe 4, 5, 6 magazines in a backpack, but don't forget you got to carry your food, your shelter, and all this stuff. I mean, you're talking about carrying around 150-pound backpack when you're fighting in a war. I mean, good luck.
There'll never be a civil war in the United States because people are too attached to their devices.
Well, this is what I was going to go to before you said something.
Go ahead.
Through the years, they have feminized men. If you look back to the Vikings, to the kings, to the guys that were out there fighting with swords and slicing each other's heads off and guts out, these were men. These were men. World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans. These were men.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go from Vietnam and you go to the hippie era and the next era, how much men have been feminized each and every generation.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to the Vietnam days and before that, now those guys had a plan like that just happened at the Capitol, the insurrection, they keep calling it.
Yeah, crap.
Do you think those men back in the 50s and 60s would have marched into the Capitol taking selfies,
No, they would have burned it down.
they would have burned it down. Feminization of men and taking their masculinity. I think it was 8 years ago when Obama got in, they did the whole man and masculinity thing, and just like, if you look back in time to the caveman and all this stuff, we're, no matter whether you want to believe it or not, we are the alphas. And they have stripped that from men now. And it has to do with, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but if you look at the black community, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took the man out of the home. So now you got women raising men. But now you're having babies having babies. You're having 14, 15-year-old girls having kids. So you got a 15-year-old raising a boy with no men in the house. How's he going to learn to become a man?
Not only that, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I mentor young men through ministry. And this young guy came to me and he said, man, I'm sick of seeing my mom with her wife. And I said, wait, what? Not only is there no male figure in the home, which is what you just brought up, some of them have two female figures.
I know if we go down to this topic, that's why we should have stuck to your game plan about the questions, because once we get on this topic, it's just going to spiral onto so many different branches of the tree. It's just like, going back to two male men wanting to adopt a baby. So two male men adopt a baby, right? Mm-hmm. And that baby sees from the time it's 1 year old to the time it's 12 developing, sees two men together all the time. What's the notion of that baby going to be?
We don't know.
Exactly. It's confusing. Look at Charlize Theron dressing up her boys as her adopted kids as women. I mean, Dwayne Wade.
Whoa. What?
Oh, Charlize Theron. You didn't see her two adopted kids for years. She's been dressing up like girls.
The two African children she has?
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me those are boys.
Yes, sir.
I got to look that one up later. I know about the Dwayne Wade and the, him trying to allow his young son to get a gender reassignment surgery before the kid even knows what a woman is. That's demonic, beyond demonic.
Scientifically, the brain doesn't develop the front cortex in males until they're 25 years of age, where they know what decisions they're making. 25 years old, it develops.
Not 10. Matter of fact, Joe Biden wants it to be 8 years old, where a child can determine what sex they want to be.
Their brains aren't even fully developed till they're 25 years old. There's no way they can make that kind of choice.
So let's
what happened to Dwayne Wade's kid, right? 10 years old, decides now, okay, his brain ain't developed. I want to have a sex change, right? Next thing you know, he's 20 years old. What's he going to do then?
He sees a woman that he likes and goes, I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, because the choice I made when I was 10 years old.
No, the choice his parents allowed.
Allowed, yeah. Yep.
Certain states, just for Dwayne Wade saying that he wanted to do that, he could be brought up on child neglect charges.
Right.
But you know what? You brought up Obama. I don't know why you said that name, but because you're going to get me started.
Obama and Michael.
The things he did not only set this country back, he created a class of people that leapfrogged the rights of minorities. Do people even realize that? No.
That's why when they said, Trump's got all these kids and women and children in these cages, who do you think built those cages? Those cages were
built in 2014 before Trump got in there.
Who deported 3.5 million immigrants? It wasn't Trump. It was Obama and Biden. But that's what I want to say. You see how we just made almost like this ancestry DNA tree we just made in this conversation, how it branched off to so many?
Right.
This is why we're so confused as people, because this is what the media and everybody else does. Everyone has a different mindset and a different accord, and we're never going to be on one agenda. That's why there's so many different religions. That's why so many people are messed up and don't know which way to think, up, down, left, right, because this is the way they wanted it. Operation Mockingbird at its best.
Keeping people confused.
Keep them confused. Keep the false flags coming, and then they get all upset with that false flag, and then hit them with another one. Hit it because they want people so discombobulated They can't focus.
It's called indoctrination, brother.
Indoctrination, yeah. So Trump had how many voters voted for Trump? 78 million?
Something like that. Yep.
So okay. How come these 78 million people didn't show up in Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day? And a couple thousand did.
Right.
Now imagine if 78 million people showed up on the White House lawn and they say, this ain't happening. Imagine the fear that would have pumped in their hearts that day. Even though that little fake orchestrated stuff that, they paid actors to do all that day, there was some patriots there, but the rest were Antifa, LM. But just imagine if 78 million people decided tomorrow, you know what? I'm dumping all my stock. Until we get what we want, dumping all my stock. You know what? 78 million people tomorrow decide, I'm not going to purchase gasoline for a month. Better than that yet, Tim. What if every American said right now, they're so sick of the system, I'm not paying our mortgages no more. Millions of homes, no more mortgages coming in until we get what we want. That's a revolution. That's what we get. That's what messes me up. People think that a revolution is gun and bullets. That's not a revolution.
Nope.
A revolution is hitting them in their pocket so they can't play their game.
And I think the people on Reddit and GameStop and AMC just proved that. And the danger is they took away freedom of speech and they took away the ability to get together in order to do a revolution. Because you're absolutely right. Guns and bullets aren't going to be the revolution. That's not going to do it. There's 330 million Americans in this country that we know about. Imagine if each one of us got together on one day and said, we're not going to spend $1. That's $330 million not going into the system. It would implode in 24 hours. That's how much power we have. But there's no way to unify anymore.
No, not at all. Because they got black against white, religion against religion. I can't do no revolution, Tim. I gotta go to the store, buy gas, and go buy chips and salsa. The football game's on Sunday. I can't miss the football game.
There you go. Yep. Or hold up. Here's another one. hold up, Ryan. My truck needs a full tank of gas, man. I gotta go somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everyone has a plush luxury excuse instead of saying, all right, people don't realize every time there's a bill, we lose freedoms. Yep. It's that simple. The first bill Joe Biden signs, forget these fake executive orders. I'm not talking about that. Those could be overturned by another president. I'm talking when a bill becomes law, we're finished. All they have to do is write a bill. Right now, House, Senate, Supreme Court, and the president are all
Democrat. Who controls the House right now, Tim?
Pelosi.
No. Who controls it? Democrats or Republicans?
Democrats, but under Pelosi, she's the Speaker of the House.
And who controls the Senate right now as well?
Schumer, because he's going to be the head of the Senate, so that's Democrat.
Exactly. So Joe Biden signs a bill, goes to Congress, goes right through the Senate.
Now, if the Senate holds a filibuster, hold on. If the Senate holds a filibuster, where does it go from there? To the Supreme Court, right? And the Supreme Court is absolutely dirty, brother.
Absolutely, 100%. Joe Biden is the golden goose. Anything he signs in, they're gonna pass it. Anything he signs. Look at the Keystone Pipeline.
Please.
That was gonna connect Mexico to Canada to us, lower our costs on gas and everything else. No. We're going to ship it overseas. That's more jobs overseas. Now, not only that, what people don't understand, these democratic-minded people, not saying that Republicans are, any much better, is that once they raise the corporation tax, where are those corporations going to go?
Ryan.
Where are they going to go, Tim? They're going to leave. And that's more Americans out of freaking work.
Not only that, this $15 an hour thing is a disaster, brother.
That will kill it even more. The thing is, you don't raise minimum wage. You lower the cost of inflation. You can't keep inflating stuff, keeping people at the same pay, but you can't raise minimum wage because some of the smaller businesses can't afford it, and it's being done on purpose. The pandemic. Oh, you got me going, Tim. The
Hey,
pandemic. The pandemic killed so many businesses, small businesses. Did you see the stock in Amazon and Walmart?
through the roof
How come? How come they weren't shut down during the pandemic?
because they helped create it.
Exactly. Now that you already shoved a dagger in the small business, now you hit with the corporation tax and the minimum wage.
Hmm.
Guess who controls everything now? Now, I've been telling this to people. Amazon, free shipping. I get it the next day, Ryan, for free. I just pay a $5 monthly fee. I don't even have to leave my house. I just order it like this, order like that. Yes, it's beautiful now. I'm a victim. I shop on Amazon. But once the small businesses close and Walmart and Amazon are the only ones standing left, then they control the price and they can raise everything up. And then you're stuck getting it from them because guess what? There's no more small business anymore. They're all gone.
Oh,
And this leaves millions out of work, right? And
mhm.
then what happens? We usher in socialism. And they're going to, I'm telling you,
Not well. Hold
these
on.
American,
Not only socialism, digital currency,
oh, yeah,
which is
it's done.
called the Great Reset. Because just like we started talking at this conversation, right? If the government can yank you off social media and trading platforms at the push of a button, you could lose millions, right?
Mhm.
Imagine guns are gone. Everyone's got this mark of the beast digital currency thing. And
Wait,
you go
before you
ahead.
say anything, I got to cut in.
Go ahead.
Well, Tim, we're glad you came into work today. Why is that? We want to tell you that we're no longer going to be paying you in cash or check anymore. We're going to be using digital. You're going to have to get yourself a digital wallet. By the way, Tim, before you come into work, we need to see your vaccination identification that you got your COVID vaccine.
Hmm.
Well, Tim, I didn't get my vaccine. Tim, we can't employ you anymore until you get that vaccine.
The vaccine that has luciferin in it.
So not only that, well, Tim, we want to bank with you, but we heard you're kind of rebelling, so we have to shut off your digital wallet.
Bingo.
So now what does Tim do? Tim don't got no money. He don't got no job. How's he going to pay his bills? They're going to force people to do socialism, do whatever they want to do. And guess what? We allowed them to do it.
Completely. And nobody did anything. Now, Ryan,
Nothing.
you and I back in July or August of 2018 had this exact conversation, if you remember. And you said verbatim, you ready? You said,
Hmm.
man, something's going to come that's going to shut this world down. What happened 2 years later? COVID shutdowns,
Hmm.
scandemic. If you, man, you can ride through the lower income areas, all the little mom and pops are gone. They're closed up. This $15 an hour is a disaster because what the big corporations are going to do is put people out of work. They're going to automate everything. You can see it in McDonald's. There's kiosks. There's nobody at the registers. You punch in what you want, pay with your credit card, and go pick it up at the end of the line. They're
Hmm.
putting people out of work. But remember, Biden wants to let in 1 million illegal immigrants and give them $1,800 a month. We're done here. That's it. But all this is in prophecy. There's no mistake about it. Okay.
Hmm.
It's not meant to get any better. And that's what people aren't realizing. This is not going to get better. Bill Gates' patent number ends in 666. WO 2020 060606. That is the mark of the beast, ladies and gentlemen. Now, y'all can have your opinions, and Ryan, you know this is going to get posted and people are going to have their comments. And one thing I did want to bring up, you're passionate about this country and you want it to make it because you're a military dad, right?
Hmm.
Your son is actively serving in the military. So yes, you want things to go smoothly so he doesn't have to go to war because that's
Hmm.
your sacrifice right there. Okay. And God bless all the troops and the veterans. But now they have to follow the rules of the commander in chief. Give us your thoughts on the military in the country and where we're going.
Well, I mean, Look what happened in Washington. They started vetting military personnel. That's like a big slap in the face right there. Like, hey, you guys are here for me, but let me vet you guys. Make sure you guys aren't Republicans.
That's pretty much what it was. Listen, you're absolutely right, because I want to show you something. To be in the military, you have to be vetted in order to get a security clearance. So what the heck were they even bothering for? It was already done. You go through a vetting process before you go to the MEP center. I don't get what's going on, what the direction is, but I'm going to say this, Ryan. People need to hear you, because you give the raw truth, and Facebook keeps suspending you. You keep getting suspended on all these platforms, and you have to have a trophy for the most suspended person of the year, because out of 365 days, right? There's 365 days. You were suspended for 305 days last year on Facebook, right? That's got to be a record. So where are people going to be able to find you? I've been trying to get you to do your own podcast for months now. And I know you got sick, and I know your dog had the puppies. We got to get you on this air, bro. People need to hear you. And that's the importance of it, because mainstream media news isn't going to give it to them.
Well, we should be like Joe Budden and the other guy and just have our own show together. I can't wait to share this video when I'm unsuspended in 6 days.
They got you again already? It's 2021. They already got you.
I already got suspended in 2021, man.
For how long? How long they get you already?
30 days on this one.
Wait a minute. It's January 28th right now. You've already been suspended from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Unreal. Why do they treat us like children? And we allow this crap.
It's not they treat us like children. They don't want the mass people waking up. And that's why I look at all these other pages that are out there, like Ben Shapiro and people like that. They're part of the agenda. They're part of the agenda, because if they weren't part of the agenda, they wouldn't be on here. They'd be suspended like the good old Ryan.
Well, look at Alex Jones. He started off good, but that money got to him.
He bit the hand that fed him. They probably told him to calm down. You're doing it wrong. And he said, you know what? I got all these followers now. I don't need you. I already got my audience. And what he didn't understand was, just like what happened to Parler, just like what is going to happen to Telegram, is Silicon Valley pirates will shut you down. Look at Parler, $1 billion company. They called up Google. They called up Apple. Get them off your platform. Then they called Amazon, strip their servers.
But you know what? Who did that call? It was one person too. You know what I'm saying? One person made that call to Amazon. And said,
we'll never know. We'll never know who's really behind the curtain.
Wow. People
guess. They say, oh, it's, the Bilderberg Group, the Rothschilds, Soros, the Queen of England. We don't really know who these oligarchs are.
Man,
it's like crazy. I said, we'll end it like this. It's a big club, and we ain't in it.
Final thought here, folks. Never stop speaking the truth, because only the truth will set you free. Thank you for listening. If you're ready to make the decision and give your life to Christ today, stay tuned for the prayer of salvation. For more information, please visit our website at www.road.fm. Again, that's ROAD.fm. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platforms, and we ask that you share it with at least 10 people to spread the word. We are listener supported here, so on our website, please visit the donate page for ways to contribute and our shop page for the latest merchandise. Remember, we love you, and Godspeed, everybody. Repeat after me. Jesus, I confess you as my Lord and Savior. Come into my heart and forgive me for all my sins. Cleanse me with your precious blood and write my name in the Lamb's Book of Life. Fill me with the Holy Spirit and lead me on the road to salvation. I pray this prayer in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.